the study and practice of Stoicism can empower us to navigate life's challenges more effectively. One such challenge we often face is dealing with disrespect from others. By drawing on Stoic philosophy, we can respond to this disrespect in a calm, rational, and positive manner. Today we'll talk about 7 Stoic responses to disrespect that can help us maintain our tranquility and self-respect. Number 1. Remain calm and composed. Disrespect is an unfortunate but universal part of life. It can come from anyone, a coworker, a friend, a family member, or even a stranger, and it could occur at any time. While we may not have control over the disrespectful behavior of others, we do have control over how we react to such instances. One effective strategy to handle disrespect stoically is to remain calm and composed. This is often easier said than done. Staying calm in the face of blatant disrespect can feel like an uphill task, but it is feasible with the right mindset. Here's how to foster this mindset. To start, disassociate the disrespectful behavior from your self-worth. Remember, the disrespectful behavior of others says more about them than it does about you. It is an indication of their lack of good manners, empathy, or self-awareness. Thus, when you endure an experience of disrespect, see it for what it truly is, an external force that shouldn't influence your inner peace and tranquility. Secondly, practice mindful breathing. When you're disrespected, it's common to feel a surge of adrenaline. Your heart rate might increase, and your mind could race with retaliatory thoughts. By focusing on slow, deep breaths, you can signal to your body that there's no real threat. This can help to reduce the impact of the adrenaline and calm your mind. Thirdly, disengage from the disrespectful behavior. Reacting to disrespect with anger or defensiveness only lends validity to it. Instead, acknowledge the behavior without engaging in it. This is not to say that you should overlook or accept the behavior, but simply that you shouldn't allow it to disrupt your emotional stability. Finally, channel your inner Stoic. In Stoicism, there is an emphasis on focusing on what one can control and disregarding what one cannot. You cannot control the actions of others, but you can control your reaction to those actions. By focusing your energy on maintaining your calm and composure, you deprive the disrespectful behavior of any power it might have against you. Remember, staying calm in the face of disrespect doesn't imply weakness. It is proof of strength. It shows that you value your peace of mind more than the opinions or disrespectful antics of others. It speaks of an unshakable inner resolve, a strength that refutes disrespect in a dignified manner. This won't be easy, and it will take time and conscious effort, but with practice, you'll get better at it. Every subsequent disrespectful encounter becomes an opportunity to exercise your ability to remain composed. Over time, this will become second nature to you, and you'll find yourself handling these situations with stoic grace and ease. The key is to remember that calmness and composure in the face of disrespect is a choice, a decision you make. But it is a decision that comes with the reward of maintained personal dignity and emotional well-being. Number 2, ignore the disrespectful behavior. Ignoring disrespectful behavior is a tough but sometimes necessary stance to take. This doesn't mean you are becoming a doormat or brushing wrong behavior under the rug. On the contrary, it's a strategic approach to preserve your self-respect and maintain a calm disposition in challenging scenarios, hence preventing unnecessary escalations. Remember, disrespect can come in many forms. It could be subtle in nature, such as backhanded compliments, or overt like harsh words. It could come from an acquaintance, a work colleague, a family member, or even a stranger. No matter the source, the pain and the discomfort it brings are quite real. You do not have control over someone else's actions, but you have full control over your reaction to it. Ignoring disrespectful behavior is not about avoiding conflict or being a pushover. It revolves around discerning situations and understanding that not all battles need to be fought. Why? Because engaging in negativity and rudeness is futile, depersonalizing, and exhausting. It's a waste of precious time and energy that could be better spent on constructive things. More importantly, it drags you down to their level, which only results in more negativity and stress. Now let's clarify what ignoring entails. It doesn't mean that you turn a blind eye to the behavior completely. Rather, you acknowledge it without giving it the spotlight it undeservedly seeks. You see the disrespect, but you choose not to give it power over you. You do not allow it to disrupt your peace or ruin your day. You continue to live your life with dignity and poise, rather demonstrating your strength in your silence. This is easier said than done, especially when emotions are running high. You might feel the urge to retaliate or to defend yourself. While this reaction is entirely natural, it often leads to more harm than good. Sometimes people disrespect others simply to provoke a reaction. Ignoring them takes away their power. Remember, your serenity and strength are far too valuable to be robbed by someone's disrespect. In the meantime, it's essential to remember that ignoring the disrespect doesn't mean you accept it. You still assert your boundaries and make it clear you won't tolerate such behavior. But you do it calmly, without stooping to their level. You send a clear message that you value your self-respect, mental peace, and emotional well-being more than an ill-suited argument. Ultimately, the goal is not to become immune to disrespect, but rather to not let it control you. Ignoring disrespectful behavior helps you maintain control, keep your cool, and preserve your self-respect. While this takes patience and practice, it's a skill that greatly contributes to your growth, resilience, and wellness. The Stoic philosophy wisely advises to ignore matters that are beyond your control, including someone's disrespectful behavior. In doing so, you remain unfazed by external disruptions, paving the path for an unagitated mind and a peaceful life. Number 3, practice emotional detachment. Emotional detachment in this context refers to the ability to maintain one's emotional equilibrium when faced with disrespect or provocation. It is a powerful tool in overcoming feelings of hurt, anger, or resentment that might otherwise cloud our judgment or provoke a negative response. When we practice emotional detachment, we essentially separate our feelings from the situation at hand, allowing us to respond with a clear and level head. Practicing emotional detachment starts with understanding that not all fights are worth engaging in. When someone disrespects you, it's easy to take it personally and let your emotions take over. But it's crucial to understand that it's usually more about them and less about you. Their actions and words are a reflection of their character, not yours. Your response, however, is a reflection of you. By not allowing their negativity to impact your emotional state, you exhibit control over your feelings and reactions. One significant way to practice emotional detachment is to put some space between the incident and the response. It might be as simple as taking a deep breath or stepping away from the situation for a while. Doing so allows you to process the event objectively and to respond without the immediate influence of heated feelings. Incorporating mindfulness into your daily routine can also benefit in enhancing emotional detachment. By being attentive to your present moment, you can catch yourself when you start to react emotionally to disrespect. Identifying these moments helps to distance yourself emotionally from the experience, allowing a more measured and stoic response. Another aspect of emotional detachment is not to dwell on the experience, keeping it from tainting your self-identity or your perception of others. Remember, everyone has bad days, and some individuals may lash out due to factors utterly unrelated to you. Detaching your expectations from the behavior of others can help you to respond less emotionally when faced with disrespect. Moreover, keeping your pride and ego in check can avoid falling into emotional traps. Realizing that you don't always need to defend, justify, or prove yourself can be freeing and help a great deal in maintaining emotional detachment. It's important to remember that fostering emotional detachment is not about becoming aloof, uncaring, or emotionally numb. It's about gaining control over your emotions rather than letting them control you. You'll still feel emotions, but you'll be better equipped to manage them effectively. Practicing emotional detachment can help you endure when faced with disrespect, turning those instances into opportunities to display your wisdom, maturity, and inner strength instead of escalating the situation or allowing it to take a toll on your emotional health. Number 4, respect yourself regardless. One of the most crucial elements in managing disrespect, especially in challenging situations, is maintaining a sense of self-respect regardless of the circumstances. This concept aligns with Stoic philosophy, emphasizing personal virtue and ethics as the sole basis for happiness and fulfillment. To start, it is important to understand what it means to respect oneself. Self-respect isn't about asserting dominance or supremacy over others. Instead, it is about maintaining a healthy sense of self-worth and dignity. It means valuing your own thoughts, feelings, and needs, and realizing that you deserve to be treated with kindness and respect. It involves upholding your own standards and boundaries, and not allowing others' disrespectful behavior to undermine them. Furthermore, self-respect is about independence in one's thinking, being able to separate oneself from negative external influences. Stoics believe that we have no control over what happens outside of us, but we do have control over our internal feelings and responses. As per the Stoic mantra, it's not the event itself, but our perception of the event that truly matters. Hence, when faced with disrespect, one should aim to separate the action from the actor and respond without letting that behavior determine your self-worth. Stoicism teaches us that the disrespect expressed by others is more likely a reflection of their own internal struggles, rather than an accurate portrayal of your value as a person. If one succeeds in internalizing this understanding, the sting of disrespect starts to diminish. It frees the individual from the burden of external validation, putting the power to control self-esteem back into the person's hands. Maintaining your self-worth regardless helps to foster resilience and emotional strength, enabling you to stay calm and composed, even when faced with blatant disrespect. It enables you to respond intelligently rather than react impulsively to the situation. However, practicing self-respect does not necessarily mean staying silent or tolerating continual disrespect. It's about empowering yourself to address the situation assertively, firmly expressing your feelings without resorting to the same level of disrespect shown to you. It's about standing up for yourself, not out of anger, but from a place of respect for yourself and the other person. In essence, respecting yourself regardless equates to understanding and appreciating your own worth, irrespective of others' opinions or actions. The Stoic practice of self-respect allows you to keep your composure, reflect on the situation objectively, and respond in a more balanced and assertive way. Armed with self-respect, you're empowered to handle disrespect with dignity, rationality, and poise. This not only gives you control over your response, but also diminishes the power disrespect can have over you. Remember, nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. By respecting yourself regardless, you deny them that power and remain in control of your own emotional well-being. Number 5. Assume good intentions. The concept of assuming good intentions is essential in the realm of maintaining one's composure, particularly when faced with disrespect. This principle can initially appear counterintuitive, as it seems to involve giving the benefactor of the doubt to those who may appear undeserving. However, inferring positive motives is less about the person who disrespects you and more about you and your ability to control your emotional response. When we are met with any form of disrespect, one natural impulse is to assume that the perpetrator is malicious, ignorant, or rude. Although this could be true in some instances, it is often unhelpful to instantly attribute negative attributions to a person and their behavior, as it could escalate the situation and provoke negative reactions within us. With this mindset, we may react defensively, lose our temper, or feel intensely negative emotions, which only stokes the fire and creates a worse atmosphere for all involved. Alternatively, the practice of assuming good intentions allows us to displace our focus from the disrespectful act itself and consider other potential reasons why the person behaved that way. This approach is about considering the broader picture, such as their possible personal struggles or insecurities, which they may be projecting onto others through their disrespectful behavior. Assuming good intentions does not mean excusing or tolerating disrespect. Instead, it's understanding that everyone is going through their own battle, and their behavior is often a reflection of that. This approach dismantles the initial hurt evoked by disrespect because it redirects our perspective to the root cause of this behavior, which is usually unrelated to us. Assuming good intentions also encourages empathy, patience, and forgiveness, virtues that are known to make our experiences with others less stressful and more pleasant. Seeing good in others despite their wrongdoings is indeed challenging, but it cultivates a sense of compassion which in turn minimizes the sting of disrespect. It is also important to note that this principle is not about being naive or turning a blind eye to the intent behind someone's actions, but rather about choosing how we opt to perceive and interpret their actions. It gives us power over our emotional state, ensuring that our peace of mind isn't easily disrupted by imperfections in others. Assuming good intentions is both an act of kindness to others and a gift to ourselves. It reframes disrespect into an opportunity for us to practice steady composure, deepen our understanding of human behavior, and ultimately showcase our resilience. This practice bolsters our self-esteem, develops emotional maturity, and helps us place ourselves above the demeaning attitudes and behaviors of those around us, ensuring that we always come out stronger, despite the spectacle of disrespect. Number 6, observe, don't react. Learning to observe without reacting can be an incredibly important step when dealing with disrespectful behavior. This involves mastering the skill to stay quiet, listen, and evaluate a situation before formulating and executing a response. Reacting impulsively to disrespect usually amplifies the problematic situation. On the contrary, to observe means to step back, maintain a degree of emotional distance, and adopt the role of an impartial onlooker. In practicing this, you allow yourself the time and space to formulate a response that respects both parties involved without acquiescing to disrespect. Observation, rather than reaction, fosters a more significant understanding of the situation at hand. When a person exhibits disrespect, they often reveal more about their mindset, outlook, and state of mind than the individual they are disrespecting. Observing allows us to see things from the recipient's perspective and the offender's perspective. It provides an opportunity to understand the root of such behavior, instead of magnifying the manifestation of it. In many instances, individuals act out their issues or psychological struggles on others. This is not a justification for their disrespectful behavior, but rather an explanation. By observing, one can often identify patterns, inconsistencies, and even instances where the disrespectful behavior is a reflection of the person's own insecurities or pressures. Observation encourages emotional intelligence and balance. Reacting with anger or frustration often only provides momentary satisfaction, but leads to long-term emotional and relationship turmoil. However, observing and evaluating the disrespectful behavior without instantly reacting create room for understanding and a measured, composed approach. Developing this habit may require practice and consistency. However, treating every instance of disrespect as a chance to improve your observational skills could significantly enhance your handling of such situations. When disrespected, force yourself to step back emotionally. This can be achieved by mentally noting what is happening, what is being said, how the other person is acting, and most importantly, your impulses and reactions. Accustoming yourself to observe instead of reacting does not mean that you should tolerate disrespect. It signifies investing the necessary time for comprehension, processing the event, and formulating an appropriate response. This could mean confronting the person about their behavior or choosing to ignore it, depending upon what you deem to be the most productive and healthy route. In essence, observing before reacting is about gaining control over your actions and not being swayed by impulsiveness, anger, or humiliation. It is about quiet inner strength and the capacity to not allow others' behavior to dictate your mental and emotional well-being. Adopting the practice of observing, not reacting, can lead to a more balanced, stoic approach to the disrespectful behavior we navigate within our lives. Number 7, exhibit well-measured responses. Exhibiting well-measured responses is a stoic approach that could be effectively utilized when facing disrespect. It's about focusing on your reactions and managing them in a just and balanced manner. This not only demonstrates maturity and control, but it also helps in maintaining peace in contentious situations. It's quite natural for one to respond emotionally when confronted with disrespect, and it's in such moments our true character is tested. Exhibiting well-measured responses involves holding back these instinctual responses, making more rational decisions. It involves not making hasty decisions or careless remarks, but rather going beyond the hurtful comments or disrespectful behavior and evaluating the situation objectively. Picture yourself in a situation where someone comments disrespectfully about your work. Your initial impulse might be to lash out in defense or mirror their disrespect. However, if you choose to exhibit a well-measured response, you analyze their disrespect and answer without losing your cool. You convey your disagreement not with hostility, but with calmness and rationality. Over time, people would start respecting you more due to your ability to maintain composure in such situations. Maintaining well-measured responses doesn't mean completely swallowing the disrespect. Instead, it is about communicating your feelings in a balanced and respectful manner. You can express that you find their behavior off-putting without resorting to any form of disrespect yourself. By doing this, you will not only be standing up for yourself, but doing so in a dignified way. Moreover, well-measured responses also involve being prepared for potential disrespect. This means envisaging potential scenarios and responses, which would provide you with a sense of empowerment and control when a real-life situation occurs. This way, you're not caught off guard and unable to come up with an effective response in the heat of the moment. Another point to remember while practicing well-measured responses is to be fully conscious of your body language and voice tone. They play a critical role in nonverbal communication. A calm and composed body language, along with a composed voice, shows class and gracefulness, shutting down any opportunity for further disrespect. Exhibiting well-measured responses is indeed an impressive skill that showcases an individual's wisdom and composure. It teaches us to deal with tough situations while maintaining our own self-respect. It's a way to assert our boundaries while being respectful to others. These traits are stepping stones to build stronger character and better interpersonal relationships that are based on mutual respect. Therefore, as challenging as it may seem initially, exhibiting well-measured responses is an effective way of dealing with disrespect. It helps bring a productive outcome from an otherwise contentious situation, strengthens one's character, and promotes an atmosphere of respect and understanding. Ultimately, handling disrespect stoically centers around self-respect, poise, and measured responses. Mastering these 7 ways takes time and a lot of practice, but remember, every journey begins with a single step. If you found value in this video, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Thank you for your support and for watching. See you soon.